So, guys, today we're going to be talking about Three Eye Atlas. And when I first tapped into Spirit concerning this, they didn't say much. They told me to stay out of it, that it was a distraction and that's all that it was, and for me not to pay any more attention to it and to let it go. And I said, okay. But the Three Eye Atlas should have been the closest to Earth on the 30th or the 29th and of this month. So, today or yesterday. And I've actually been feeling extremely, extremely sick. So I said, Spirit, let me do a reading for the collective. Okay. And this is what I got. The very first card that I got was the red herring. The red herring speaks to misleading information. What's happening right now with the Three Eye Atlas is that those that are in power, the opposition that does not want to see the divine ultimately win, win control of this plane of these souls that they've been using to harvest this energy. And so Three Eye Atlas is used as a distraction at this particular moment. They are sending you guys, excuse me, down a rabbit hole, right? Having you look for something mystical that's happening, this grand awakening. And there is a very deep shift in consciousness that's been happening. And there's been seers and light workers and psychics, mediums, shamans who've been giving these messages to the collective to wake up. And so, what this is telling you is that it's a diversion tactic. They're trying to get you off course of what's really in alignment for you. And what Spirit is asking is to sit here and see through the facade. A lot of you are talking about that you're awake, and I don't want to sit here and say that you haven't had your experiences with Spirit, because I do believe that, it's all part of our journey. We get excited about things that seem out of this world, right? But really, it's home. Really, it's our frequency. Really, we're the aliens. So, I always see through the facade. Be observant of your surroundings, be observant of what's happening. This is paying attention to, the laws that they're trying to pass, through the bills that they're trying to put in place. Everybody knows that, you know, they've cut off or delayed SNAP benefits. Okay? Everybody knows that. But do you also know that Trump has put executive orders in place to make homelessness a crime and mental illness a crime? So you're telling me those who've gone through trauma in their path in their past are criminals now because they're trying to recover from what this matrix, is false illusion, opposition, parasitic demonic forces has done to them, to their family line? Spirit is saying be more aware. Don't be fooled by what they're showing you, these false illusions. Now, I also want to sit here and say the divine has things in the works, and the divine has been working on things in the background that has not fully been revealed. And that's going to reveal itself in due time. But all of this is part of it. Everything that Trump is doing right now is to get people to wake up that they are playing in your face directly. They want to see how far they can push the people into slave status. How much more can they use you and fine you and give you all these charges for the laws that they make? God given laws. You should be able to rule your own kingdom, your home, and not cause harm to another. So the next card that came up, and this one came up reversed, is the blueprint. Now the blueprint is actually a really beautiful card, right? It's talking about careful planning, visionary. It speaks to basically a roadmap. However, with it being upside down, Spirit is saying what they're trying to do is change the course of your life. Not only your life, let's talk about how deep this really is. Okay? We're talking about it changing the course not only of your life, but of the generations that come after you, the descendants, to keep your ancestors trapped in a loop, because this doesn't just affect you. This affects those that came before you and those that are going to come after you. Are you going to allow them to keep you trapped, or are you going to liberate yourself? And the loons comes to confirm that as well. It talks about family, manifest your deepest desires, all in for what you love, reawaken lost hopes. So this is what they're trying to prevent from happening by throwing the blueprint off. This is what they're trying to prevent your blessings, your ancestral blessings, your liberation, your freedom, your God given right to be able to operate on a planet and fend for self, provide for self. They've made you so dependent on a system that they take something away and your world crashes. And I get it, times are not the easiest. But this is a cause, a reaction because of what they've done to the ancestors. And the next card that came out, this is not a love reading, third person. It speaks to the influence of the opposing forces, right? So when we're talking about Three Eye Atlas, everybody's talking about these upgrades and these upgrades. And for me, as a shaman, one of my shamanic gifts is to be a medical intuitive. It's I feel things that's happening in the collective, and I've been sick recently in a way that I haven't been sick in years. I'm talking about vomiting, and I don't want to be too TMI and all of this, but just I haven't been able to get my bearings, okay? And I've been attacked to the point that they're saying speak on it, and I was just a little cautious there. A demon literally fly at me, try to scare me. Okay, jump at me. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, bye. I didn't give it any fear and I didn't give it any anger. I didn't give it any reaction. And that's what it was ultimately looking for. So these influences, you have to realize these are spirits that, yes, are operating through, human entities, vessels, the government, politics, those in power, obviously through media, Hollywood, all that stuff. And what they do is through these benefits that they offer, they consider you a minor. And one of the cards that came out is child. Now, a child is ultimately one that's under the care and guidance of an elder, right? And it's either under care or neglect. The government, the politicians, those that were put in place to serve us through the Constitution to serve the people, now have neglected the people and used the people to its advantage to make them wealthy. And spirit isn't having this anymore, right? So this awakening is it's so this mass awakening that's continuing to happening. It's not just about your spiritual gifts, it's about liberation for the bloodline, ancestral and descendants. Because they will be liberated from the shackles that also bind them in the astrals, because guess what? Many of the ancestors are bound. The next card that came up was race car. Get going. What the spirit is saying is don't allow yourself to be fooled by what's going on right now. It's time to really be self aware. It's time to be determined to take control of your life. It's time to sit here and say, you know what? I'm breaking every single rule and constraint that you've put me under. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of this false illusion, this prison that you built for me. I'm moving on to better. I'm moving on to freedom. I am riding with the wheels of destiny. And then boomerang came up. Boomerang is basically this is where it's going to be okay. Now we're fighting. You're keeping yourself aware of what's going on. You're not allowing yourself to be distracted by the Three Eye Atlas. You're not allowing yourself to be distracted from what's ultimately going on. The sleight of hand that they do, right, to entrap people into deeper slavery. And so now what Spirit is saying, this is the time to keep that awareness sharp, okay, and understand that you are resting and recovering. It's coming back for the boomerang to be there. And if it's to be read, it is telling you, baby, it is coming back around. Your blessings, those ancestral things that they tried to steal from you, it's not happening anymore. They can't do it. Everything that is yours will be returned. Are you willing to take it back? Stay sharp, stay aware, don't fall for these false illusions. The next card that came up was balance. Centered, meditate. This is letting you know that as you're aligning yourself, right? You're aligning yourself with your higher essence, your higher self. Okay, you're clearing out your chakras, you're doing the work, you're not allowing someone to occupy your energetic space. Thus, now they can't convolute your space, they can't overstimulate you, oversaturate the market, so to speak, with so much confusion and whatever they want to throw out there. Obviously, it's degradation, right? and they don't want the good for humanity, right? Who would be silly enough to think that that they actually have our best interest at heart? And there was the other card that came out, which was heart and mind. All right, so to me, this is what it. To me, this card represents a heart to crown chakra connection. That means that you are not you, but those who are choosing to be authentic, and I know I am. I'm part of it for sure, are going to have an integration into the new world, and the split is happening. The split is already here, and people may be still aligning with that split, but that split has taken place. And those who have and align with the new world, they're going to be living life in a holistic way where they'll be tending to their gardens, their farms, their land, their self, their spirit, their mind, their health. They will be more present in the moment. This is what Three Eye Atlas is trying to stop. Do not be distracted by the tomfoolery that they are hitting you guys with. It is time for a new era and it is time for change. And that's why I've been extremely sick. Yeah, I have been extremely sick because the energies are so intense right now that they're attacking on such a deep level that they do not want you to awaken to what is yours. And there's a lot of people in the spiritual community, and I'm not saying everybody, but there's so many that are like, Three Eye Atlas, Three Eye Atlas, Three Eye Atlas. Are you so blind? Have you not cleared your space enough to see that it's a distraction? Have you not checked in with your team? Checked in with your spirit, yourself? See the bigger picture of what's truly happening, what's going on, how they're trying to affect the generations, because it's so much more than just liking a post and believing something and going along with it and being so hyped for the event to happen. And I can't tell you how sick I was during that event. So, you know, here you have it from me in spirit. And I really hope that this reaches some of you, because it doesn't matter that the event passed. What matters is that you wake up every single day choosing to not be lied to or be swayed by the things you see, on the media, and you allow your intuition, your body, your spirit team, your guides, your ancestors, everyone for the highest good to guide you to, confirm to you what you already know. As a shaman, I feel like I speak on things, but my spirit already knew that something was off. My team didn't tell me about it. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to know anything about it. And then I started to get sick, and they're like, it's what's going on in the collective. And I'm like, okay. And so I pull cards, and it confirms just everything they were saying. So I really enjoyed bringing this message to you guys. This is a completely new YouTube channel that I'm posting this to. I haven't been on here for a while. I deleted the old one, and starting fresh. But guys, I'm a shaman, and I'm here to do the work of the divine. Hopefully, you come along for the ride, and take care to all the beautiful souls out there. Peace.